So, give an example of a quadratic function whose graph would result in a parabola that is wide, points down, has a y-intercept of 0, 4. So I want a specific example where you meet the criteria. Okay, so this is one example. Wide and points down means I'm going to go with the wide part first. So I'm going to pick something between 0 and 1. 0.5 is safe. You can do a half, you can do a fraction, whatever you want. Points down, I need to have a negative, and obviously you need to have an x squared attached to that. The b part next to the x is optional. You don't need that, but I am going to simply go plus 4 because that constant is my y-intercept, right? So, or you could have gone negative 0.5 x squared plus whatever you want, right? See that? See that? So this is optional. Okay, this is optional. It doesn't affect our criteria. Okay, so I'm looking for sine, something between 0 and 1, and I'm looking for the constant 4, positive 4 at the end. So if you got that, you get 1 mark there. Next, describe a parabola that would be created by this quadratic function. The width is equal to 1.5. So this is going to be a narrow curve. It opens up because A is positive. The y-intercept, this is in general form. Remember, it's in general form. Then we can automatically say that this is going to give us the y-intercept. Okay. Number of x-intercepts. You can graph that for now. You can graph it for now, but I want to make you aware of something. If the y-intercept is negative and A is pointing up, like A is positive, which points up, if you think of your y-intercept, this y-intercept is somewhere way down here in the negatives, right? Which means that it means this parabola is somewhere down here, and if it points up, at some point, it's going to do that, right? It's going to cross your x-axis more than once, right? Like if you just think a bit about what these pieces of information tell you, you can predict that without even graphing it on your calculator. But if you must, then do it. Graph it on your calculator if you have to. Oh, sorry, did I tell you to put this into your calculators? You could have. How about, I just want you to practice to see, can you find it quickly? So let's do that. Look at that, 3.5. I usually go brackets, 3 divided by 2, close bracket. So that's my A. So if it's negative, make sure the negative is inside there. Then I go x squared. Oops, sorry. Make sure your cursor goes down, right? So there. So x squared minus 4x minus 17.25. So my screen actually does a pretty good job at showing this. I'm going to go zoom 6. Let's all go zoom 6 so we're all looking at the exact same window. What do I need to do now? Chase the curve down. That's it. Because you see the x-intercepts. Now I just want to know the vertex and the y-intercept. So I'm going to go window. I'm going to change my y-min to, I'm trying negative 30. Let's see what happens. Beautiful window. Right? That's all you need. So that's something I want you to practice. Now, switching gears, and we can tell that it crosses it twice, right? So I should say here, I never answered this, there are 2 x-intercepts. You get half a mark for each answer there. Okay, next. This is the more important part right now. I want you to be able to graph this thing with or without a grid. With or without a grid, okay? So, let's type this into our calculators. We already know that it's going to do this. Just by looking at that negative, it's whatever's in front of x squared tells us the behavior. Let's put that in, okay? I'm going to clear this. I'm going to go negative 4.5 x squared plus 19.2x. Make sure you take the time before you graph and make sure you didn't miss anything. Because even if you're off by a little bit, it's going to affect you. I let it be 0 most of the time because I know I'm going to find the x-intercept, so I just do that automatically. So let's graph them both. My window is pretty good. How about we all try to see the same thing? Zoom 6 will do it. Zoom 6. All I need to do is chase it up, right? I need to see a bit more up, so I'm going to go window, Y max. I'm going to go 30. Why 30, Mr. Dirksen? I just make up a number, okay? 30 isn't good enough. So now I'm losing patience, so I'm going to double that. Y max is 60. So I go to window, Y max is 60 now, graph it again. Pretty good graph. All I need to see is right there. Anybody try zoom fit? I'm going to just try it. Zoom fit right now, zoom 0. Mr. Dirksen, is this one okay? Yeah, you see the x-intercepts. You see the y-intercept. Everything is there. So it's up to you what you want to do. They're all tools, guys. It's technology. Use it however you wish, okay? I'm going to go back to my regular, what I just did here. So I do zoom 6, and I'm going to change that to 50. I didn't need 60, so I'm going to just change my Y max to 50, and there it is. One more thing, okay? This is going to be important down the road. You are going to come across scenarios where, like, Mr. Dirksen, it's not working. I'm getting an error message. And you're going to panic. Don't panic. Zoom, like, because sometimes students put in wrong values in here that contradict each other, and that is your problem. So a zoom 6 resets, and then change your values again, right? And then it will most likely work for you. So let's graph this. So I kind of know what to expect on here. I know what it's supposed to look like. It's kind of like off-centered to the right. I'm going to find all those points first. So let's do the vertex first. So you'll go second, trace, max, right, in this case. So I'm going to go maximum. It says to the left of the vertex. I am to the left. I hit enter. Go to the right, hit enter, and when it says guess, you hit enter every time. That is the coordinate of the vertex. That's worth 1 mark, okay? If you got this right and you have the keystrokes, you get a mark for that. X-intercept. I'll just let my audience know that I'm doing y2 is equal to 0, second trace, and then intersect.
Excuse the interruption. Unity Goodmanson, please go to room 61. Unity Goodmanson, go to 61.
So go closer to the one you want to find, close your eyes, and hit enter 3 times. Why closing my eyes? That's just weird. Yeah, I'm just trying to let you know that it doesn't matter. Once you're close enough, you're good, that it's going to find it. Repeat the step. And by the way, it says intersect up here, which means you performed intersection, and it's blinking where it should be blinking. Okay, so that's another thing to watch out for. Second trace 5. I go over to the other side. That's close enough. Enter, 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 and it finds it there. So that's 4.940. Okay. Y-intercept, it's up to you. You want to use your calculator. I'm going to just state 0.15 because I know if it's in standard form, that is my y-intercept. Axis of symmetry. Do you remember that? I need my vertex for this answer. It's an equation. It's an equation. X is equal to 2.13. Make sure you write down that this is an equation of line. It's a vertical line that goes through the vertex, okay? Equation of min or max. In this case, we have a max. So that is also given to me by the vertex. So you just go and grab the y value of the vertex, and that's 35.48. You got, so this equation, okay? So don't just put a number down, write down the equation. If today you missed it, that's not a big deal. But moving forward, that's what I want you to do. What about the range? Range is concerned with the y values. So because it's going like this, I need the vertex here. The highest y value I ever have is 35.48. So that must be part of your answer here. So you either say that y is less than or equal to 35.48. That's the set notation. Or you say that it goes from negative infinity all the way to 35.48. But this isn't good enough. You need to have brackets and the correct ones. The number gets a square bracket and the infinity gets a round bracket because we cannot include infinity. Okay? So you decide how you want to do this. Smallest first, largest number second. That's how it always goes. Order matters. Because if you had flipped it, you would technically be understanding it, but it's not right. Yes? You did both? Even better. I'm just going to say, make sure if you're going to go both, if you're going to state both, that they're both correct. So I would suggest on the exam next year in grade 12, just do one. They don't make you choose. You choose which one you want. However, they could do a multiple choice where they do whatever. Ranveer? Same question. You know what? For now, practice, do it. Like ACs, anything like that, homework, do it, just to practice it. Don't lose sight of it. Absolutely. Okay, keep going. A, B, and C is simply the values. Do not have x squared or anything like that attached to it. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So this is my A, this is B, and this is C. So this will be negative 4.5, 19.2, and 15. Sign and all, okay? I'm going to change the way I mark this, okay? So you know how it says half each? I'm going to cross that, and it's going to be 1 each. So I'm going to give you marks for keystrokes and whatnot. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 marks. So 7 marks just for completing all of A to G, okay? And then the graph itself, we're going to change that to be out of 3. The graph is going to be worth 3 marks. So if you didn't do it, make sure you take off 3 marks at some point. Okay, so label it X, Y. Arrowheads on the axes, right? They continue on. And now I need a scale. I've kind of, I wouldn't say I perfected it, but I've come up with a way to space them out equally. So what I will do is, I'm looking at my x-intercepts. That determines this. I need to go, right, only -1 this way and 5 that way to fit that in. So I'm going to try this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You go a little bit past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put a 5 there. That indicates that you're going up by 1. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to go -2 here. If you want to label every single one, you go right ahead, right? No problem, as long as it's consistent. So that's my scale on the x-axis. Mr. Dirksen, what if I did it completely differently? Mine are so close together. As long as it's consistent, I don't care. As long as it's consistent. So what do I mean by that? If the gap is this big here, it better be the same gap on this side, more or less, okay? On a test, I'm telling you already, it's going to be a grid. You're not going to have to like guess or whatever. Most ACs moving forward have a grid, so you don't have to do it from scratch. Next, my Y. I look at the vertex. I need to go all the way up to 35 here. And basically that's, and my y-intercept is 15, so I'm going to try this. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So this is going to be my 50 mark. So that means that I'm going up by 10. I'm going to go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. This is -50. Okay, so you're going up by 10 here and by 1 here, and that is okay. Within each axis, it has to be consistent. So let's plot this. So 213, 35. So 213 is right about there. 20, 30, 35 would be right about there. Okay, so that's my vertex. That's this one right here. Then the x-intercept, negative 6, 7. And this is 4.9. That's basically almost at the 5 mark. So these are my x-intercepts. I'm going to plot my y-intercept. This is 10. 15 would be right about there. And then you just go out and cross it, and it should be expanding out consistently. You shouldn't have this happening, okay? You have to continue out like that. Okay? So, I will label this y is equal to negative 4.5 x squared plus 19.2 x plus 15. So, labels, if a label is missing at all, take off half right away, but labels in general is 1. Scale is worth 1. And I'm going to be strict with the scale, so if you're off even by a little bit, you lose the whole mark for scale, okay? And then shape. By that I mean, are the points where they're supposed to be? That's what I mean by shape. Because if the points aren't where they're supposed to be, the shape will be off. Okay? So 1 mark for each of these components. Okay, so 3 marks in total. So basically question 3 is 10. Altogether, question 3 is worth 10 marks today. Okay, so this page is worth 13 because you've got 1, 2, and 10. So this page alone is going to be worth 13 marks today. So make sure you have a tally there. I'm not going to argue if you're off by 1. Just try to be honest. Most of you are very honest. So I appreciate that, okay? Let's keep going. A parabola goes through 2 points. Calculate the axis of symmetry. We talked about this briefly yesterday. Emphasis is on the fact that they're right across from each other. Guys, the same thing with x-intercepts. What do the x-intercepts share in common? What's their y value? 0. Both of them would have a 0, right? So you can use x-intercepts to find your axis of symmetry. So basically, this is x1, this is x2. So the axis of symmetry is negative 17 plus 24 divided by 2. And that is 7 divided by 2, which is 3.5. So the axis of symmetry is 3.5. What is the axis of symmetry again? It's a vertical line that goes through the vertex. So you actually now have the x value of the vertex, okay? You have that. Okay. Describe a situation when a parabola will have 2 x-intercepts. You may use a diagram as part of the explanation. Yeah. Yes, yes, guaranteed. So if this is your vertex, this is basically the x value of that vertex. We don't know the y value in this case, but we do know the x value, always. Yeah. Okay, describe the situation. So you can, one way to do that is this. If the vertex is below the x-axis and it points up. That'd be one way. So if this is if the vertex is somewhere below here, this is your vertex and this points up, then you're going to have the graph crosses the x-axis twice. Okay, that's another important concept. that you understand that the curve crosses it twice. You could say the exact opposite. If the vertex is above the x-axis and it points down, you'd have the same phenomenon, right? So I'll let you I leave it at your discretion. What do you think your answer? Does it kind of summarize it? Does it give you a good indication? I think a graph would always be a good way to describe or justify. So 2 marks for that. Given f of x, answer the following. What's n of 5? So algebraically means show me the work, right? So it's 4.85, 5 squared plus 3x minus 5. Sorry, 3 times 5 minus 5. And at this point, if you type that into your calculator, that'd be fine. So you found a point on the curve. You can say on the curve or on the parabola. And the point is when x is equal to 5, the y value would be 131.25. So 1 mark for this, 1 mark for this. Last but not least, a parabola has a minimum of 7 and a y-intercept of 15. How many x-intercepts will it have? The minimum, this gives you indication, refers to y value of vertex. Remember, the equation of the max or min is directly linked to your vertex. And if it's a minimum, we know that this is happening. Minimum is right here. So the vertex, can you see that? Sorry, move down here. This is a minimum. We know that because of the wording, we know that it's pointing up. We know that, we don't know this value, but we do know that this is 7. Okay? And the y-intercept is 15. So that means that it's somewhere here, it's 15. Could be over here as well, we don't know for sure. But how many x-intercepts will this have? Like if this is 7, where is the x-axis? If the vertex is at 7, like 7 units positive, the x-axis is somewhere over here, right? So there are no x-intercepts here. Since the vertex is above the x-axis and it is a minimum, there are no x-intercepts in this case. You know what? The y-intercept is almost irrelevant in this case. You did not need this to make your conclusion. Because the minimum being 7, that's like the lowest this ever gets. Any other point will be above it. So this is simply not going to have any x-intercepts. Okay, so 1 and 2, that's 3, 5, 6. This backside is worth 6. Okay, the front was worth, I forgot already, 13. So we're going to make this a grand total of 19. So cross the 14 like this. So name and last name, and make sure if you didn't respond that you obviously didn't give yourself the mark.